So here's the thing, you can't actually read someone's mind like a book. I was telling you that before. You can't like look at someone and say you're thinking exactly these thoughts, but you can get an idea of what someone might be thinking or feeling just by looking at their facial expressions, reading their body language. But that's not really mind reading in my opinion. I think that real mind reading happens when there's no observation whatsoever. And so to continue along here in a interesting way, let's choose 2 more people who've had birthdays. Let's see. Okay, who's over here at this table? Who's the birthday guy? What's your name? Steve. Okay, perfect. Okay, is there any other birthday guys? John and Steve, come on down. All right, 2 birthday guys. Hey, how are you? Is it your birthday for real? That's crazy. Have a seat right over here. John, how are you? And is it really your birthday today?
No, it was my birthday 2 weeks ago.
Have a seat. Okay, is it your birthday today, really? Tuesday. Okay, well, perfect. Have a seat. Make yourself at home. Steve and John, do the 2 of you know each other? Then shake hands at the very beginning. That way you guys create a little connection at the very start. Here's what we're going to do, okay? I'm going to have you both take a moment to, first of all, answer this one question. Have you ever been hypnotized before? No. John? Here's the good news. I'm not really going to hypnotize them. What I am going to do is place them in a state of mind in which hopefully you'll experience something really interesting, if not profound, take place. In order to do that, I am going to have you just keep both of your feet flat on the floor. Put your hands on your laps, just as they are. Sit up real tall in your chair, facing forward, and keep your heads aligned with your spine. When I count to 3, I'm going to have you go ahead and close your eyes. 1, 2, 3, close your eyes. And as you close your eyes, just imagine clouds billowing forth. And as you do that, I'm just going to make sure that you know that I'm not going to humiliate you or embarrass you in any way, okay? I just want you to be relaxed because that is the feeling that I want. We'll listen to some music while we do that. That'll help you get into a state of mind. And what we'll do is go ahead and imagine clouds billowing forth in your mind's eye. When I count to 3, you're going to take a deep breath. Just go with this visual with me. 1, 2, 3. Breathe in. Breathe out. Imagine blowing those clouds, and as they part, up ahead you see a staircase. The stairs lead upwards. Imagine yourselves walking towards those stairs, looking up the stairs, and then walking up the stairs. And with each step you take up the stairs at this point, your body becomes more and more relaxed. Each step you take up the stairs, body becomes more and more relaxed until you reach the very top. When you reach the top step, you'll see a doorway up ahead, so continue to climb until you get to that door. And when you get to the door, imagine yourselves stepping through and letting the door shut behind you. You find yourself in a dark hallway, but up ahead you see some light. I want you to imagine yourselves walking towards that light, allowing it to get larger and larger, brighter and brighter. You'll realize it's a spotlight hanging down from the ceiling, casting a pool of light on the floor in front of you. At this point, you imagine yourself stepping into that spotlight, and when you do, you see each other. So in other words, Steve sees John on one side, John sees Steve on the other side. They shake hands in the center of that spotlight. Take 1 step backwards out of the spotlight and have a seat in those 2 chairs conveniently located behind you in your imagination. And now in these 2 chairs, I'm going to have you imagine yourselves closing your eyes yet again. That way you're closing your eyes both physically and mentally. And in the state of mind, we're going to see if we can somehow link your thoughts together. So every single thing you feel, starting now, I'm going to have you take note of. If you feel me tap you or touch you, stay completely still, but just count how many times you feel me tap you or touch you. I might take a feather, brush it across your face, stay completely still, but just count how many times you feel me brush that feather across the face, roughly where it is around the face that you feel me brush that feather, okay? But first, let's focus on the tapping, because I did tap one of you. Please raise your left hand if you felt tapped. Now with your left hand, please point to the area of your body that you felt tapped on. And with your left hand, please hold up the number of fingers that correspond to how many times you felt me tap you there. And place your left hand down. Now let's focus on the brushing the feather across the face. Raise your left hand if you felt a brush across the face with a feather. Now, with your left hand, please point to the area of your face you felt brushed on. And with your left hand, please hold up the number of fingers that correspond to how many times you felt me brush you there. At this point, I'm going to have you place your hands down. Imagine yourselves now inside your chairs, moving back, getting up out of your chairs, Walking back down the hall the way you came, all the way back down towards those doors. As you arrive at the doors, you slowly step through, and finding yourself at the top platform of the staircase looking down, you begin to descend the stairs. And now with each step you take down the stairs, your body becomes more and more aware of the people looking upon you, shifting around in front of you. When I clap my hands, you'll open your eyes. Tonight you'll have the deepest sound asleep you've had in a very long time. Are you ready? Open your eyes. Give them a big cheer. They're pretty good, huh? Okay, stay right where you are. Stay right where you are. Because what was I saying before all of this took place? I was saying you can't actually read someone's mind like a book. You can't look at someone and say you're thinking exactly these thoughts, but you can get an idea of what somebody might be thinking or feeling just by looking at their facial expressions or reading their body language. In fact, just like how all of you can right now look into their faces and see for yourselves that they have no idea what just took place. So let's talk to them and see what was going on in their minds. So Steve, did you feel hypnotized at all? Not really. But during this process, you felt me tap you on what part of the body? The right shoulder, how many times? Twice on the right shoulder. And I followed that up by taking a feather and brushed you across what part of the face? How many times? Once or twice. Okay, interesting. And now with you, John, you felt me, did you feel hypnotized at all? Not really. Interesting. Now, during that process, you felt me tap you on what part of the body? Do you recall? Your right shoulder. How many times? So you remember that. And then I followed that up by taking that feather and brushing it across what part of your face? Your nose. And how many times? So you remember that for sure. And what's interesting about this for all of us is that during this process, I did actually take my finger and I tapped you 2 times on the right shoulder. I followed that up by taking this feather and I brushed you once across the nose, Steve. For real. However, for you, I did no such thing. Am I right? I think they both deserve a big round of applause. Thank you so much for jumping up, Steve. Thank you so much, John. Let's give it up for our 2 birthday boys, John and Steve. You can return back to your seats. That's perfect. Crazy, right?